Hi guys, and welcome back to Robbie's Accent Adventure video blog. And as you may have already guessed, I'm speaking with the American pronunciation. And those of you folks who are watching this video and who would like to respond to that by saying, hold on Robbie, there is no such thing as American pronunciation. There's dozens upon dozens of different accents in America. Hold on guys. What I mean by saying I'm speaking with the American pronunciation or American accent, I'm using these terms interchangeably really, right? What I mean by that is I'm trying to sound like an American, right? Basically, I'm putting on a particular sound to portray the image of an American English speaker. I know for a fact I'm not going to be sounding just like an American English speaker, and any native English speaker will spot that I'm a foreigner, but what I'm saying is that I'm trying to sound like one, right? But that's not what today's video is about. It's about the latest Netflix TV programs I've been watching, right? And needless to say, they've all been American TV programs. Why American? Why not British? Well, it's simply because I'm focused on the American pronunciation, and whenever I'm watching a Netflix program, I guess I shouldn't be saying Netflix TV because it's a little bit confusing, because Netflix is Netflix and you would be normally streaming Netflix films and programs on your laptop or your tablet, or probably some people would do it on a TV. So I guess nowadays these two concepts, the internet and laptops and Netflix and TV, it's all kind of blurred because there's no distinct lines in between them, right? You can stream Netflix films on your TV, and you can watch TV on your laptop, right? So it's a gray area, kind of, right? But anyway, the first one I should begin with is Breaking Bad, and needless to say, that's the best, that's hands down the best Netflix program of all times, and I'll stick to that, and I will never change my opinion. And to tell you the truth, guys, I have a love affair with that particular TV program. Well, I keep saying TV program, whatever. You know what I mean anyway, right? I have a love affair with Breaking Bad because I watched it 4 times or 5 times. I've actually lost the count of times I've seen it. And I spent the entire year 2014 watching it. The moment I watched the last episode in the show, I knew for a fact I would be going back to the first one, and that's what I did. So I spent the entire year watching the whole show time and time again. And the good thing was that I almost knew off the top of my head what all the characters were going to say, and I learned a lot of those phrases, and I was shadowing that show pretty much all the time. Right? And here's the article and the video I published on my blog a year ago about shadowing, and it's very relevant for us foreign English speakers who are trying to sound like Americans, or British English speakers for that matter. All you gotta do is find a Netflix program that you will like, watch it, shadow it, and your accent, your pronunciation will improve beyond recognition, provided that you invest a lot of time in it, right? And considering that I did it throughout the whole year, 2014, and I keep doing it this year, considering all that, it shouldn't come as a surprise, guys, that my accent and pronunciation have improved big time, right? And for those naysayers who will keep saying that you don't really sound like an American English speaker, all I can say is, guys, I'm a very good judge of my own pronunciation, and here's a related article. And it's not just about me, it's about everyone out there. Don't do yourself disservice. Don't be thinking that you can't really judge your own pronunciation. You can. Anyone can, right? So read that article. So let's move on. This was Breaking Bad. I spent a whole year watching it, and here's the article where you can read some phraseology from that show. Obviously, it barely scratches the surface, and there's an awful lot of American expressions you can learn from that TV program, and most importantly, you can learn to speak like an American. If you shadow all that's being said on the screen, right? And then when I watched it for the 4th or 5th time, just like I said, I lost count of how many times I actually watched it. I started watching a show called Lillehammer. It's about a gangster, a New York gangster, the typical Italian gangster type of guy, right? Who goes to, was it Sweden? Oh no, Norway, right? So he goes to Norwegian town called Lillehammer, and you might actually remember that they hosted the Winter Olympics back in late 80s or something, right? So he went there just because he'd seen the Olympics back in the day, so he just picked it as part of the whole witness protection program, right? So basically he ratted out one of his mafia colleagues, so to speak, and he joined the witness protection program, and he went to Lillehammer. But obviously he's still stuck to his old ways of dealing with people and doing things, and before long he became the local businessman slash mafia guy, and he started controlling things in the town, and it's a hilarious show, I'll tell you that. And it's very interesting because there's plenty of Norwegian language being used in the show, so yeah. I'm not saying you should be learning Norwegian or anything. I didn't even pick up a single word in Norwegian. All I'm saying is it's a very interesting and funny show, right? After Lillehammer, I moved on to Breakout Kings, which is crime, drama, action, thriller, whatever you may want to call it, right? But it's a very interesting show. It's about criminals who have been offered the chance of slashing off a certain amount of time from their jail time every time to help deal with a case and find out the related criminal, basically, right? So every time there's a successful case and they capture the criminal in question, they get a month slashed off their jail term, right? Or something like that. And all those characters are very interesting, and there's some love stories going on in between, and it's a very interesting show. And I actually watched it while I was sick. I've been sick, to tell you the truth, twice this year. I came down with the flu, and then again I came down with the flu, and it was actually terrible. So this year, to tell you the truth, guys, I've been more sick than healthy. And the Breakout Kings was one of the shows I watched while I was sick. And it's a very interesting show. And in case you're wondering what to watch, the Breakout Kings is the way to go. And even if you're not into crime, and particularly me, right? I would actually describe myself as not being into crime, but I started watching it, and it really, really dragged me into it, right? And I couldn't recommend it more. Now, when I finished watching the Breakout Kings, I started watching Better Call Saul, and for those who have been watching Breaking Bad, right, I don't have to be telling you who Saul Goodman is. He's one of the central characters from the Breaking Bad program, and he's a lawyer, and he was helping Walter White, which was the main character in Breaking Bad, right? But this show actually precedes the Breaking Bad program, and it's all about Saul Goodman, and there's another character in it, Mike Ehrmantraut, right? He's another great character from Breaking Bad, so you can watch the adventures of these great characters in the show Breaking Bad, and you can't actually watch the entire first season yet because episodes are being added on as we speak. Every Tuesday a new episode is released, and that's what I'm doing. And hey, today's Tuesday, right? Or Wednesday? Tuesday. So I'll get to watch another episode of Better Call Saul. And yeah, moving on to, what was the name of that show? Bloodline. It was great. There was one season in it, which means there were around 12 or 13 episodes in it. but I'll definitely move on to the second season as soon as it's released on Netflix, and probably I'm gonna have to wait a full year. But Bloodlines or Bloodlines, I'm not really sure, but you get the drift, right? It's something got to do with Bloodlines, and it was a great program. It's a drama about one particular family and the relationship between the siblings in the family. And there's everything, a little bit of detective involved, because one of the siblings is the local sheriff, if I'm not mistaken, and there's intrigues and there's even murder, and it's a very very interesting show. Why I chose this particular show? Because it was advertised on the radio, and I just started watching it, and it turned out to be a real gem, right? And then, just yesterday I finished watching another TV program called Jericho, and it's a post-apocalyptic, some would say dystopian show. Dystopian is a particular type of English fiction where all the events take place in a near or a distant future where some huge catastrophe has happened, such as a nuclear attack or some other kind of catastrophe, and the civilization has ceased to exist. The civilization, the way we know it, has ended, and it's all about how people survive those new circumstances. And Jericho is all about nuclear attacks. 23 American cities have been annihilated by nuclear bombs, and millions of people have perished as a result, and millions more have been displaced. They've lost their homes, and there's no, in this particular town, Jericho, there's no electricity, no food supplies, and it's all about how the main characters take initiative, help each other out, and there's plenty of action going on. And it turns out that there's actually a huge conspiracy behind these so-called terrorist attacks. Turns out it's not Iran or some other country that the Americans actually blamed for those nuclear blasts. It was Americans themselves, and there's some corporation behind it, and it's very interesting, right? So that was the last show I watched, and there's another one, Daredevil, which was actually released on the 10th of April, which is just a few days ago, and today I started watching it, right? So I hope that if you're in a search of a good TV program, and to be more specific, an American TV program or Netflix program, no matter what way you call it, it doesn't change the fact that you can actually watch all these on Netflix, right? So basically, if you're looking for a good one, you can definitely pick one of these. Breaking Bad, Lillehammer, Breakout Kings, Better Call Saul, Jericho, or Bloodlines, and you'll definitely enjoy at least some of them. No matter what your taste is, I will say that these TV shows will suit any taste, right? And obviously do some shadowing, read more about it here, and it's basically about speaking right after the character. So basically you listen to the character say the sentence and you repeat it after him. You may pause the program, and obviously you wouldn't be doing it the whole time, but you would be doing it every now and then, especially when there's some interesting phrase or some cliche phrase used in the program, right? So that's about it, my friends. I hope you find this video useful. If you have any questions about my blog, about the American pronunciation or English fluency improvement in general, you're free to publish your questions and comments in the comment section below, right? So thanks for watching this video, and chat to you soon again. Bye bye.